If you love scratchers from the Virginia Lottery, you'll love the High Roller Blackjack Scratcher with a chance to win up to 10 times your prize. Look for it at your favorite Virginia Lottery retailer. In fact, you can drive there right now. Now that's an everyday win. Odds of winning any prize, 1 in 4.16.
Every editor knows the perfect video needs the perfect music to make it really pop. Find it easily on Premium Beat, where you'll hear world-class music produced by award-winning musicians. Best of all, unlike other music providers, our license gives you tracks for a lifetime. Pay once and never again. Save 25% on your next track. Just visit premiumbeat.com/royalty-free/podcast to redeem your coupon. That's premiumbeat.com/royalty-free/podcast.
It's time for the 2-Minute Drill, a quick hit look at stories that are trending both locally and nationally here on The Bill Riley Show. The 2-Minute Drill is presented by S&S Roofing. For all your roofing and repair needs, visit snsroofing.com. Now the 2-Minute Drill here on Utah's #1 sports talk, ESPN 700.
All right, 2-minute drill time here on the Bill Riley Show. Going to be with you today, 20 days out from the Utes opening up things, less than 3 weeks. Just over 3 weeks from the Aggies opening up things. First-year head coach Blake Anderson trying to get things turned around in Logan. They're going to open up on the road against a team that's going to shoot for the Utah State Championship this year. They've got Utah State, they've got Utah and BYU on the schedule. Nick Rolovich may not win the Pac-12 North, but maybe he can win the state of Utah. We'll see. Check in on the Cougars of the Palouse right now on the 2-minute drill with my buddy and their play-by-play voice, Matt Chazanow. Chaz, how are you?
I'm doing great, Bill. Yeah, a Utah State title would go a long way to a bowl trip for the Pullman Cougars here. That'd be a big deal.
Oh, yeah, I think if you won the Utah State Championship, you'd be bowling for sure.
No question. Yeah, I think those would be 2 huge wins for sure, and then heck, Utah State's been really good. I don't know that we know what this new coaching staff's going to bring for sure, but it's not like anything out of the Mountain West is a total gimme. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, I don't know that there's a lot of great expectations around that program this year, but what are the expectations around yours? Obviously, your coach made news on the vaccine thing and not being at Pac-12 Media Days, but from a football standpoint, what's the expectation on the Palouse this year? Mike Leach set a high bar for the better part of 7 years. Last year was a weird year for Rolovich to take over, but this is year 2, and it'll be a full season. So what are you expecting?
Yeah, I think you throw last year away for all the reasons that everybody's talked about for a long time now. You look at basically this as kind of a continuation of what Leach had been doing. That's why they hired Nick Rolovich, was to keep good going. So I think they're looking at a bowl. You know, I don't know which one, and I don't know where and all those things and which one to project to, and everybody has high hopes. But I think that you look at this team with a pro running back and a pro right tackle and a lot of returners on defense, some question marks at key spots with QB and then what are you going to do with some of the safety spots and things that matter a lot. But there are a lot of returners on this team. I think they're hoping to get to a bowl game.
Questions always when you have one, who's going to be the quarterback when there's a battle going on? Any leaders right now early? You get a transfer from Tennessee. You got a kid from here in Utah. What are you looking at right now?
I think it's open. I know that sounds wild. That sounds like coach speak. It is open. No one has grabbed it yet. I mean, it has been different day to day. There's a walk-on named Victor Gabalis who was actually recruited by Hawaii and had a scholarship opportunity he turned down. He's from the west side of the state. He's at times been the best QB in practice. Jarrett Garantano from Tennessee at times has been the best QB in practice. Jaden DeLora, who was the starter last year as a true freshman, has that eligibility yet again. He could still win the job. And then everybody in Utah may remember Cam Cooper, who was the state player of the year, and he has not come out and grabbed the job yet, and he's been here the longest. So those are the 4 guys. The 5th name is a true freshman this year named Xavier Ward. Big arm, could absolutely be a starter in the future. He's probably not ready yet.
Defensive side of the football, what's it look like?
A lot of returners. You'll see a lot of names. Bill, when you get prepped for this game against the Cougs, you're going to see a ton of guys you recognize. In some ways, that is disconcerting. They have not performed like they want to. You want returners, but you want guys back who have performed. That said, they expect to. And they think there are a lot of really good players on this defense. Jahad Woods is one of the league's leading tacklers. You have Amir Crowder, who last year was maybe the biggest surprise and biggest bright spot on the Cougar defense in the interior defensive line. He's a really good player, and he is going to be important for this team. He's played well. He looks good. Brennan Jackson looks really good, the defensive end who could be all-pack. And then Jalen Watson is an all-pack level corner. They actually have a lot of depth on the boundaries at corners. So I think those are some of the bright spots, and there'll be a lot of guys you recognize. Armani Marsh is back. George Hicks is back. Daniel Isom's back. He looks really good.
So it's Utah State, then it's Portland State, then it's USC, and then you guys come to Salt Lake City. You play BYU on the 23rd of October. So it'll be an interesting year for sure. How you handling the coaches show with unvaccinated Nick Rolovich?
Yeah, I think we'll be all systems go. My expectation is he masks up. And actually, last year we were outside for the first few shows part of it by COVID mandate at the time, and part of it by choice. It was really pleasant that time of year. We may just do that anyway, and it sort of checks all the boxes for you.
That's Matt Chasnow. He's the play-by-play voice of the Washington State Cougars. We'll be talking to Chaz a bunch this year, and maybe in a couple of weeks before that game against the Aggies, and then he'll be here in Salt Lake City with the crew coming up in late September. Chaz, hope all is well. I'll talk to you real soon, man.
I look forward to it. Great to talk to you, Bill.
2-minute drill continues here on a Friday afternoon on the Bill Riley Show as we count it down to kickoff inside of 3 weeks for Utah. Arizona's going to open up the season against the BYU Cougars, and they're going to open up in 22 days from right now in Las Vegas with a new head coach and kind of a new feel around the program. Their play-by-play voice. And my cohort in Pac-12 circles, Brian Jeffries, joining us for a little update on the Wildcats. So how have things gone in Camp Fish so far, Brian?
Well, Bill, everything's new. As you mentioned, you got a new coaching staff, new philosophy, a lot of new players, about 30 new players on the roster. So everything's been totally different. I guess the one thing that Jedd Fisch has brought to the table, including the fact that he's coached a lot in college, but he's coming more directly from an NFL background. And so you get the feel that that's kind of the way he wants to run camp in an NFL style. And will that pay off? We'll see. But it's a different attitude, but a very positive attitude. I think after last season's 0-5 record, and really the team hasn't won a game now. They've lost 12 straight. So they're trying to be optimistic, and I think he's brought a lot of energy to the program. Now we'll see what happens on the field.
Everybody always wants to know when you're not set there who the quarterback's going to be. The guys from the last regime are kind of out and moved along. So is there a leading candidate right now to be the guy under center?
There is not, Bill. Will Plummer, who last year played in 3 games, is one of the 3 that's vying for the starting job. Gunnar Cruz, a transfer from Washington State. He played only in 1 game for the Cougars over 2 years. And then Jordan McLeod, who just transferred in from South Florida, and he was a 2-year starter there, but he didn't get to play spring ball with Arizona. He was still in school at South Florida. So those are the 3 guys right there. And Jedd Fisch wants to name a starter as soon as possible. He doesn't want to wait until game week, but they have been very close, and we'll find out here maybe in the next few days if one of them has emerged as the leader.
It feels like, and I just read from the outside, it feels like while they may be under-talented this year, Fisch is trying to do a lot to kind of jumpstart fan interest and kind of get maybe some positive vibes going around the program. What's he been doing down there?
Well, he's very innovative. He's very social media conscious. He's invited fans to come out to practice. They've got a fan fest with a jumping castle and food for everybody next to the practice field. And so they're trying to get everybody involved. He's really trying to energize the student section and get them back because he knows that interest in the program has been waning. And if they're going to win and if they're going to recruit successfully, they've got to get a fan base back again. So he's done all he can, and I think he's got the community feeling like they're on the right path upward. Now the question is, how many games can they win this year to kind of keep that good feeling going? Anything
they can really hang their hat on either side of the ball, offense or defense, that they feel really good about right now?
Well, I think they've got depth at running back, at wide receiver. They're going to use their tight ends this year. One of those quarterbacks should emerge. I think the questions are on the offensive line, and then defense has not been strong for Arizona for years now. Don Brown is the new DC, came in from Michigan. They call him Dr. Blitz, and so he's trying to do with what he can with what he has. He likes what he has right now, but once again, the proof is in the pudding, as they say, and we'll see what happens on the field come September 4th.
Does he have a PhD in Blitz, Brian? Is that why they call him Dr. Blitz?
Yes, I think so. He's got a philosophy. If you don't run the ball, you don't play, or run to the ball, you don't play for me. And that's been really, I think, the biggest theme of camp right now for the defense is they got to attack, and they may not have the best personnel in the league, but if they can get max out of everybody, then they've got a chance to be better.
Utah won't see the Wildcats till later in the year down in Tucson, but BYU will see them in the opener in Las Vegas. Any chatter about the Cougars and Kalani Sitake's team and that allegedly neutral site game in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, BYU's just a solid program, and Arizona and BYU have played in the past, and, the Wildcats have won some, and BYU's won some, and I think the talk down here, obviously with everything new going on at Arizona, is that BYU is going to have a lot of new starters on defense, a new quarterback, et cetera. And so there's going to be a lot of mystery, I think, on both sides of the ball. That early first quarter, I think, is really going to tell us a lot about which team is set to go and ready to play in game one.
That's Brian Jeffries, the play-by-play voice of the Arizona Wildcats, who we will probably talk to on a couple of different occasions this year moving forward toward the season. Brian, thanks.
Hey, Bill, anytime. Thank you.
Good to check in with those two guys, friends of mine from the broadcasting side of things at Wazoo and at Arizona. I will say this, and I've said this for months now, I will be very surprised if BYU doesn't beat Arizona in that opening game. Vegas has them installed as 11.5-point favorites right now. I don't think that there's enough talent there in that Arizona program right now for them to beat BYU on what will not be a neutral field. It will not be at Luvel Edwards Stadium, but it will be in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium, and that's going to be a 65 to 70% at least BYU crowd.
Cox can help make your home smarter and your life easier. Now you can use your Contour voice remote to connect to your home life cameras so you can view them right on your TV screen using simple voice commands. That makes it easy to keep tabs on what's happening around your home right from your couch. Need to keep an eye on the kids when they're playing outside? Just say, "Show me my backyard camera" into your Cox voice remote and watch them while you're in the house. And if you're waiting for a delivery and want to make sure it's there on time, no problem. Just say, "Show me driveway camera" to check on it with your Home Life HD cameras on the TV screen while you go about your day. When you live in a home powered by Cox Internet, you can stay connected to what matters and let Cox take care of the rest. To learn more about all the benefits of your connected home, visit cox.com/thisishome today.
Every editor knows the perfect video needs the perfect music to make it really pop. Find it easily on Premium Beat, where you'll hear world-class music produced by award-winning musicians. Best of all, unlike other music providers, our license gives you tracks for a lifetime. Pay once and never again. Save 25% on your next track. Just visit premiumbeat.com/royalty-free/podcast to redeem your coupon. That's premiumbeat.com/royalty-free/podcast.